It's not difficult to climb to 11k if you've got experience in other games. Squeaking out that extra couple of 1,000 SR is the challenge, and that's where learning how the zone works is going to come into play. You can grind to 11k without even using the zone, but if you want to get any further and become an expert, you have to delve into what makes TEC wonderful.
All right, and we are starting this off here. This is a 1st to 7. All of our matches today will be 1st to 7, and is ArcFox okay, desync. A little bit of desync situation going on here, but players working through it, and expect to see maybe a little bit of that kind of stutter, stop, and starting. I did have someone come into my Twitch chat the other day and say, hey, I just got this game, like, tell me about it, whatever. And then they asked, oh, like, are the servers for this game good? And I was like, well, I have bad news. There are no servers. So yeah, blame that.
In the meantime, we have ArcFox cranking out a 20. Nice work, my friend. Nice work. ArcFox currently in zone, though. Trying to figure out how they can get a couple more lines squeaked out, which they absolutely need. And they miss that place, that J piece. And they're on the ropes. Woo.
Yep, but they are going to be able to work through this garbage pretty well, get down into this, because this is just phase 1. It's pretty clean garbage right now. And yeah, these players are quickly moving this into phase 3. I do want to point out that our scores here are very similar. So yes. Far, this is an even matchup within just this round.
And right there was a good demonstration of QuickAndSmart, like just really good fundamentals. Their counting there was perfect. And they're going into a full zone right before our phase 3 transition here. ArcFox just taking a little bit more time before they hit that zone button. They've made a misdrop that's not great, but they're going to build a Kaiden. Doesn't even matter.
Maybe starting the zone with this kite on here. There it is. Yeah, that was a very good fix from that misdrop right there. Like, much better than I would have seen, but they find a little bit of awkwardness at the top of the zone. Maybe that late start, not getting quite the zone they wanted, and all of a sudden, ArcFox is on the ropes in this round 1. Yeah.
I love that J placement they made to get that overhang. It seemed like they were just fixing a mistake, but it ended up becoming an overhang. It was a 2 birds 1 stone scenario. QuickAndSmart though, looking at throwing some stones, and round 1 to them. Well played.
All right, and again, this is ArcFox as the 1 seed and QuickAndSmart as the 8 seed. So when we talk about upset potential being more prominent in the lower bracket, this is what we're talking about.
Have you ever seen that opener? That looks like an eye misdrop.
There was a misdrop. No, that was a misdrop.
They nearly made it work, but they're definitely going to be...
Considering there was a T-spin mini 0 in there, I think that should clue you in that that was not an opener.
It's hard to tell if openers are like... It's hard to tell if someone's doing a bad opener when they're at their skill level, or if they're just BMing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it could just be a troll opener, which we've seen in the past.
I doubt we're going to see that in this matchup right here.
Probably not.
Especially if you're down 1-0, you're not going to do a meme opener.
I mean, unless you're Andrew. Unless you're Andrew, like the king of obscure
that's not
openers.
even a meme opener. Like, that's not even for the sake of BM. That's just how Andrew operates, but that's not really how ArcFox operates here. No, we have QuickAndSmart on the ropes a little bit, may have to zone early, finding the efficiency instead.
That's a nice T-spin just to dig out of there, rather than digging out with singles and doubles. Finds a T-spin, beautiful. ArcFox sitting on full zone here, could have pressured, but chose not to. Probably the better thing to do there.
Yeah, both these players sitting on full zone here. QuickAndSmart is the one to use it first.
It's a pretty good board state to actually enter the zone. They've opened up their well there with that T-spin. They have a floaty boy, beautiful. And that was great.
That is a great talk. No, I love that. Not breaking back to back. And you know what? That's a skill that Tetrio players are very good at. Not going for the curb self instead of the ulti there is bold. I admire it, but yeah, the ulti was a lot more,
Ooh, ArcFox could be in trouble here. They cannot tank anything.
Now they have Cortisone. They're not getting the eyepiece in time.
No, they're not.
That is 2 rounds in QuickAndSmart's favor.
Wow. Yeah, no, this is exactly what we meant. Like, their fundamentals are so clean. While they missed that zone, while they couldn't find the 21 like they were going for and actually ended up with the 19, their efficiency, their core mechanics are so strong. And ArcFox isn't hitting those zones they need to hit to counteract that.
Yeah, and sometimes that can just be nerves or maybe, just being off a little bit today. But again, I expect ArcFox to be able to get their mental together and start bringing this back against QuickAndSmart because, like we said before, they are a very smart and experienced player.
Yeah. They're also QuickAndSmart. Just because QuickAndSmart has that name, it's just, yeah. And ArcFox looking for this zone here. I think they have a... Oh, no, that was not a solve.
Yeah,
the QuickAndSmart zone is pretty efficient despite the lack of lines there. ArcFox going into a 4-wide to hopefully neutralize the majority of it. Thank you for the raid, Mari. Welcome in. Good work on your match, mate. We're currently here watching GCL Division 2 streamed on my channel because I'm really cool and everyone likes me. Yay. We're watching QuickAndSmart versus ArcFox, Seed 1 versus Seed 8.
Yeah, and the QuickAndSmart is the 8 seed here, so we do have a little bit of an upset going on, and an STSD that resulted from a missed drop.
And we love that overhang with the green Mino. I love that. And QuickAndSmart, this is not phase 2, that is combo garbage right there. Or that's the power of a combo in phase 2. It gives you virtually phase 3 garbage. ArcFox having the experience with TEC, maybe they knew that. But here we go, a 27 zone to put a lot of pressure on QuickAndSmart. They're not going to zone it, they're going to try and tank.
I mean, that's a smart decision here considering this is still that phase 2 garbage. And I would assume QuickAndSmart is trying to fish for this full zone here, gets all the way through the garbage queue, and just now hits that ding to phase 3.
That was actually a really good play from them. This zone is a phase 2 zone, so they have a little bit more time. And ArcFox taking that time that's been given to them, that they've given away, actually, to hit one heck of a 4-wide. Oh, no. Breaking that. Let's see if they can continue this combo a little better than the last one. Yes, they can. A 38 in 13.
Yeah, 15 combo there in that 4-wide, and that puts QuickAndSmart up at the top of the board here. They definitely were not expecting that.
No, and their board state is not fantastic. That is a lot of delicious cheese.
Yeah, and they are skimming down through this board here, but ArcFox is on the offensive and is able to pick up that first point here.
That they really needed that. They would have been feeling a bit of pressure to get something on the board, to find some momentum here. If they can keep it going, they'll be able to take this set. First to 7. And here we go. We have, that's MS2, right? Or is it just
No, that one's not MS2. MS2 is slightly in a different column, but there's a PC there.
That's pretty good. It is phase 1, and not a lot was tanked, so really nothing massive. But look, they won my heart over, and that's the biggest thing here.
ArcFox did go for the second PC there, but QuickAndSmart was able to pressure before they were able to find anything. I don't even know if they were going to find the second PC anyways. I'm not very good at finding PCs. And QuickAndSmart with this first zone here, this is a fast zone, maybe not as efficient as it could be, but the speed is there, and that could have been, well, okay, that's still a 20.
It's a good 20. I don't think there was curb potential anyway.
No,
it looked like it was, but maybe not. ArcFox finding a line 18 T-spin, sorry, and they still tank. They were slow is the problem. They were efficient, but slow.
Right, and they are going to have a little bit of an awkward stack to work through here, but they're getting into this well and building their own man-made stack at this point.
And that's a T-spin single there. Couldn't burn all the way through that. Ends up being a pseudo donation. Quite an interesting way to leave your board, but they make it work. They make it work.
And they're going for a TST tower right in the middle of the board here. They're backing out of it. Okay, that's smart. I like backing out of this.
And look, they still get one of the T-spins. That was really clean.
Yeah. Unfortunately, all spins do not maintain back-to-back here in TEC, but that was still a nice continuation out of it.
QuickAndSmart here, this zone will take us to phase 3, and ArcFox misses that zone. They have 10 seconds now rather than the 16 allotted to them with a phase 2 zone.
Right, and yesterday we were talking, yesterday we were talking about players who didn't really need that phase 2 versus that phase 3. The extra timer didn't really make a lot of, that's a PC, that's a phase. Oh no!
Okay, they didn't get the PC, but 100 attack from QuickAndSmart. It doesn't seem to matter. It doesn't seem to matter. And I think that their drops fairly fast, fairly similar. It's their efficiency outside of zone that is doing so well. They're not getting those high lines. They are getting a couple of 20s, but they're not getting them too consistently. ArcFox though, I hate to be rude, but they're not showing their regular skill. Like ArcFox is not meeting what I know they can meet. They're not playing at their best right now. They need to find that best and start showing it off.
Well, they did say that they're away right now and their sister is playing, so maybe that is part of it.
That is true. That is very true.
Yes.
And here we have them setting up for something. That's an interesting setup.
They get a Tetris donation. Yeah, interesting. A little awkward at the top of the board there, but they're able to find what they need with it. Little bit of desync going on here on our end, but that's a nice IRS find there from QuickAndSmart.
Yeah, they started off with a floating T-spin over the top of another T-spin, which we love to see. Realistically, at this level, you need to be having at least 2 or 3 T-spins and a couple of Tetrises in your zone to get up in that 50 range. QuickAndSmart seem to be able to do that pretty well. ArcFox getting a 40 and 17. Meanwhile,
right, and I'm seeing QuickAndSmart's X-Rank Tetris skills come out of the woodworks here because they are having some very nice finds. Earlier, they just turned a misdrop into an STSD that I did not see. And so they've got the ability to think on their feet here, and that's definitely showing so far.
Absolutely. I think that time and time again, I'll say this, but their fundamentals are incredibly solid. It's why they've been able to adapt to the game so quickly. Just picking up another version of Tetris. At the end of the day, we're just stacking blocks with different conditions. And so they've been able to adapt fairly well.
All right.
Classic players. Thank you, Mari, for rating. And ArcFox with a row 19 T-spin. That was pretty clutch.
Yeah, both of these players at the top of their boards with that full zone, probably wanting to get it a little bit lower before they start it, but both players having to start this up here.
And that's a lot of garbage.
ArcFox finds the better zone. Yeah.
Oh, and they tank it. QuickAndSmart, despite having that quarter zone, accidentally tanks that, I believe. That was probably a mistake they won't be happy with.
Yeah, and that was just both of those players, like I mentioned, forced to zone in an area of the board where they didn't want to, and ArcFox was able to find the better zone in that dire situation, which is what gave them that round.
Absolutely, and that would have been a PC, but the misdrop from the very start, that first bag, does them in. Again, it's not the end of the world, and that's the same misdrop. That square dash, not happening for them.
Yeah, and they're forced to play at the top of their board a little bit, but they have a 3/4 zone. They are going to use it here. This is a pretty clean board. I expect them to find a pretty good zone out of this right here.
They actually might have a 20. This could be impressive. Ooh. Oh, and they decide to go to lockout by throwing that piece up on row 21 and 22. But
I honestly like that. Yeah, no, because QuickAndSmart using this zone here, I would expect them to play this a little bit slow and methodical, and ArcFox there having that extra stack to try to build up this zone in case they need to use it in response. I like that move, even if it wasn't necessarily intentional.
QuickAndSmart showing that, hey, I know how to use IRS as well, pulling off a 20 there, and ArcFox with a very, very quick 17, 18. That was beautiful. A 42 in incredible time. And QuickAndSmart is in trouble. They need to zone, and this is just a quarter, not a lot to work with. Meanwhile, ArcFox pulling off a 4 wide. This should seal the deal for them, if not already.
Right, and that was ArcFox there recognizing that they had an advantage. It was a very aggressive move for them to start that second 3/4 zone, but they knew that if they had that zone pop off fast enough and strong enough, that would just end the round.
Absolutely. QuickAndSmart did have a quarter zone there, but there was not much they could do at that height. It would have been rough, to say the least.
Ooh, ArcFox with another misdrop on an opener here, turning that into an STSD. Missing the rotate on the second T-spin. Not what you want right here, but they are going to have that quarter zone in case they need to fall back on it, and there it is.
I love their, like, they just throw pieces in, like, the right spot. I never do this in my games, but they just manage to, like, make really good calls when it comes to where they need to put a piece that doesn't feel comfortable. It ends up resolving into a forecasted overhang, usually. I love it. It's beautiful.
All right, we have QuickAndSmart starting this full zone here, breaking back-to-back at the beginning of it. Definitely going to be not their most efficient zone, but that is a nice 50.
A 150 is pretty good if you ask me. Again, I've seen better from them and definitely from other players, but they're doing pretty good. Again, for someone who's only just picked up the game within the last couple of months. This is really clean gameplay.
Right, and when I say not as much of an efficient zone as they could have, I'm more referring to what I've seen their play in ranked matches.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I've seen them pull off 60s before, like, just regularly. However, they're going to need to do that a little bit more in this match if they want to secure this win. It is 3-all. This is basically a first to 4 now.
Yeah, but QuickAndSmart is doing what they need to do right here, pushing ArcFox up on this board while ArcFox is down stacking this, may have a combo here. Okay. Oh, I like that. I like that fix there from ArcFox. That was cute.
Look, they have an overhang for the next T-spin as well once they take this. I love their playstyle. Just
so cute.
I just mentioned it, these perfect placements where they just seem to do random placements that end up resolving in forecasted overhangs. It's a beautiful way to play. They're looking at their garbage more than just a couple of rows down. We enter phase 3 here, and we are leaving. We're saying goodbye to all that clean garbage as we enter into 60,000 point territory.
Right, and we do see that the chunks on ArcFox's board are garbage chunks, meaning that that was the end of the queue. So ArcFox knew there that a strong zone would put some of that phase 3 garbage onto QuickAndSmart's board, and that's exactly what they were able to do.
Definitely, yeah. That was great game sense from them. Really impressive. And look at this burn.
Oh, I love it. I love the resolution there into that T-spin. Now this turns into the game of trying to find the efficiency on top of your stack. A misdrop from QuickAndSmart there towards the top of the board, working through it, finding that T-spin, but they're not in a great space. They don't have a lot of space, and they are going to zone here.
And do they have a T-spin triple there? They do. Beautiful. And ArcFox counter-zoning here with a 13, 14, perhaps even a 17. Yes, it is. 32. And that's a full garbage queue. They see the end over on QuickAndSmart's board, but
that's a nice combo so far to work through it. A quarter zone. I don't know if they're going to be able to find as much attack as they need if they want to get out of this okay.
You know, that quarter zone has to do a lot of heavy lifting, and frankly, the pieces aren't even that nice either. They've got a couple more line clears. I'd really worry if I don't think they can get out of this. Yeah, that misdrop's going to seal it.
Yeah, that misdrop. And ArcFox does take the lead for the first time in this set.
Pretty good, though. 77 attack. That's the lowest attack we've seen in this game so far, which really says something about the skill level.
All right, and
close.
Yes, we are at about our halfway point here. ArcFox missed. I think ArcFox has misdropped more openers.
So many.
Than
yeah.
Yeah.
They might have misdropped. I think they've only successfully done like one.
Yeah, they just misdropped that again, and they have now quarter zone. Thank goodness. If they didn't have quarter zone there, that would have not been a great situation for them.
And they misdrop again. They need to iron out these mistakes, really find the flow if they want to take this matchup, because it's starting to cost them precious zones, which will result in precious rounds being lost.
I mean, yes, but I think a couple of the times, I mean, there was that one round where they misdropped and that led them into a 3/4 zone, and then they changed that second 3/4 zone onto the, so it did work out for them once, that whole misdrop situation.
Yeah, it can be fantastic. Sometimes, you know, zones ending at 59,000 or 60,000, it can make all the difference. And right now we have another great zone, and we jinx it immediately with
except for that misdrop at the
end. Not great.
QuickAndSmart's half zone, they don't even need to use it. They're able to mitigate this entire garbage queue and continue on building up that max zone here as we do start to look towards phase 3, and they're definitely going to try to start it with this zone. They need a good zone if they want to push this over the 60,000 point mark.
I'll be surprised if ArcFox doesn't zone here in a moment, just take that 3/4. And
all right,
it's 58,000. We're not in phase 3 yet.
Yeah,
like
so
I mentioned,
not quite finding everything they need.
This could be one of the situations where, like we just said, whether or not it's 59, 58, or 60 matters if that phase 3 dings or not. And ArcFox getting a 33, taking us to that phase 3, and actually being on the back foot. One last misdrop. Oh dear, the T-spin 0 cannot save them.
Yeah, and that was just that phase 3 zone, when you transition over that 60,000 point mark, is the most important zone in the game, especially if your opponent is at a slightly disadvantaged spot. Being able to send a ton of garbage on their board is a good way to put that phase 3 in your favor right at the beginning.
Oh, I love that PC soul from ArcFox, finally not misdropping their opener.
Stop.
It's a problem. They're gonna have to address it at some point, and it looks like they have.
Yeah, and so hopefully we're able to see more efficiency from them at the beginning, as they have been going for some pretty interesting openers so far. Both players have this full zone here. I'm wondering if QuickAndSmart is going to be the first to use it here.
No, it's
and
ArcFox.
ArcFox. So both players essentially zoning at the same time, trying to keep that back-to-back as best as they can through this zone. Those extra like +1 attack on those back-to-back T-spins and Tetrises are so important.
And we have an 18 versus 56. Despite that, ArcFox zoning first still received garbage because QuickAndSmart's was just so much more efficient. I think my statement earlier about ArcFox being the better zoner here is really being challenged. QuickAndSmart is proving me very wrong very quickly.
Yeah, they've been studying a lot, learning their IRS as well. Definitely not just relying on their knowledge in other games, but learning about the mechanics of this game specifically. And as someone who really enjoys this game, I admire that a lot.
Absolutely. I love seeing new players who just like from other games coming straight into this, and that is another round for them, speaking of. I think ArcFox has always been quite comfortable with improvising, I think is the best word. Just finding random things. It's not paying off this time round. They can't take that leisurely approach they usually do. They're gonna have to play a bit more refined.
Smart going for the PCO here, not necessarily taking it. I notice a lot of players who start building a PCO and then just prefer to keep it into like a T-spin 5-4 well situation. I wonder if they were actually going for the PCO there, or just doing something like that.
Well, we've said it before, we said it yesterday, but PCO is one of those openers that, well, actually, it's the box shape on the right, or it's the box shape with the LOJ. It fits so many different openers that PCO can look like other openers as well, and vice versa. They may not have been even going for it.
Ooh, a misdrop, 2 misdrops here during QuickAndSmart zone. They're not going to be able to have the zone that they want here. ArcFox starting the zone at the bottom of the board. A couple of Tetrises to start off here. Let's see how ArcFox's zone goes. A 45 attack zone. Not as strong as it could be, but it seems ArcFox is having a similar zone. I say maybe a little bit stronger.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, and that ulti solve is nice. Yeah, that's going to put pressure onto QuickAndSmart here. They don't quarter zone, and now we're tied.
Yeah, it feels like QuickAndSmart has lost a lot of, at least given up a lot of rounds just due to not quarter zoning. They need to notice when they have that zone.
Yeah, and I think that there was maybe a little bit of hesitation there. They've generally been pretty good about recognizing when they have zone, but yeah, right there. Sometimes you think that like you're going to be able to just down stack out of it, and you have to take just a little bit of extra time to think about your move.
Again, it comes down to experience, and QuickAndSmart, again, not taking that zone.
Yeah, maybe that was just bad screen watching.
Yeah. This is maybe where, like we mentioned, ArcFox's experience is coming into play here. Being able to perform under pressure, being able to rely on their experience, rely on their habits, rely on what they know. Whereas QuickAndSmart doesn't have that. And ArcFox taking a PC, trying to make PC strats here early game work, but I don't think that QuickAndSmart's going to fall for the same tricks multiple times in a row.
Yeah, and those 2 rounds definitely hurt them, and they know that they can come back here. They have the ability, and so they're going to try to finish strong and take this set. But ArcFox here just 1 point away from taking it themselves.
Yeah, it's basically a 1st-to-2 now in a ranked format, with ArcFox having won the first round, which is never a situation you want to find yourself in.
Right, I feel like the ranked matches being 1st-to-2, if you're in a close match against your opponent, sometimes it feels like it just comes down to RNG.
Absolutely. It's a stressful scenario, that's for sure. QuickAndSmart spending a lot of time here trying to find a high zone, but ends up taking an 18, just a mere 18.
And this is a powerful zone from ArcFox so far. A lot of T-spin finds, a lot of efficiency. I expect this to be a very strong clear here, a 51.
And that is the
You
game.
had to quarter zone there. Okay.
QuickAndSmart drops that game, goes down to losers, and ArcFox finishing with a 2 drops per second and a 110 attack per minute. I like that. Very good.
Yeah, wow. That was some very clean play from ArcFox. Just a couple of mistakes there at the end from QuickAndSmart that did eventually turn the match, but I would expect them to have a pretty strong losers bracket run here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, they definitely have the strength to continue through the losers bracket, but I want to point out something important. there were two things I said earlier at the start of the matchup, and that was ArcFox having the experience and QuickAndSmart having the fundamentals. Both correct, but they were displayed in very different ways than what I expected. ArcFox felt really comfortable improvising and doing some strange stuff, which ended up not paying off and losing them surrounds. Meanwhile, QuickAndSmart's fundamentals were great, but it was their lack of experience, I think, did them in. They just weren't hitting those quarter zones when they had it. The zone is an amazing function in this game. It's an amazing game mechanic that you can use to give yourself a second chance, to give yourself some time to recover. QuickAndSmart just wasn't using it. So maybe we'll see them improve on that, take that note into the losers bracket.